Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. Truly excited to have Mr. Jack Clark on with us today. A great guy doing some great things. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chip.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's dive into it. I know off air, we talked about, your journey and, where you're from and some of those neat things that you've been fortunate to achieve in your life. But if you don't mind just sharing some of that with the audience so they'll have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I was born and raised in Montana. I'm a seventh generation to be, born and raised in Montana, and I started in the water well industry about 10 years ago, and we have kind of grown and needed more and more and more help, and so that kind of broke us into the franchise world. So now, we have a franchise model that we do in pump servicing across the nation, and so that's our primary focus now. Out of our little Montana-based company here. So.
Well, talk to us a little bit about that, like the franchising, right? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I went down the path and I bought another company and expanded into 2 locations and had, 35 employees at some point. And, as we grew, it became more and more evident that, it wasn't really scalable, and I wasn't really the best version of myself trying to run, that large a company. And I really kind of enjoyed running a much smaller company. And kind of thought back to the times of like, man, it was really fun when it was me and 3 or 4 other guys, and kind of miss that, you don't realize how good you have it until it's gone, right?
No
And so
doubt.
as we kind of broke back into, like, man, this is just a little bit too much chaos, and it's really hard to balance schedules and do all these other things, that thought of being able to be a couple man crew again was really in the forefront. And so, I took my main guys and we kind of scaled back into 1 location, and then used the franchise model to make sure that all those clients continue to be serviced, because the water well needs are, in high demand for sure. I mean, we're just really limited on the amount of people that are in the industry, and if we don't show up to our job, I mean, people are literally without water. And so it's a big part of making sure that, your day-to-day life operates and making sure that water pumps. And so it's a big weight on our shoulders, and the franchise really allows us to kind of make sure that we can continue to do good in the world and service all our clients. So
That's awesome. That's good. I think just hearing you say that, it makes me think of this: less is more. Like when you're franchising, like I love how you said, like, man, it's not so fun doing all of that,
yeah.
doing everything.
Yeah.
The weight of the world on your shoulders, man. Get some help.
Yeah, and I mean, like, from the business standpoint too, like, it's not as profitable. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a lot of dollars running through the accounts, but at the end of the day, what you take home might be less. And so we just kind of scaled it back to the point where it's very profitable. It's very, service based. So these guys are, very hands on and able to serve their clients directly and work, with the business owner, or maybe a general manager that works closely with the business, and really been able to kind of, make sure that service is communicated well, and the clients are happy. And it's just a kind of a nice little recipe that works really well. So
There you go. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
first it's got to be the family. I mean, I have a really happy marriage and a really great kiddo, and I think that that's really important. And I think that's a big part of my success, is having that support at home. To be able to work all day. And I mean, I was blue collar for a long time. I mean, I'm primarily in the office now, but I mean, I used to come home covered in mud for a drill rig, and they were still excited to see me. And I think that core is really what makes a guy do what he does. And I barely it comes down to relationships for me. I built wonderful relationships with my employees and their families. And so, I mean, that's definitely my next main accomplishment is the team that we have here at 180. I mean, there's about 12 of us that work here. And then I'm really proud of our franchise and our businesses that we have accomplished in terms of the success that we've had. But, you know, after the family and after the relationships that we have with our employees. But I think that building a team here and really having people be a big part of what we do here every day is something that I'm very proud of.
Ooh, good deal. Well, just hearing you talk about your journey, hearing you discuss the things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
It's happiness to me,
Mm,
and it's weird because those journeys that you go on are a big part of that. And like I find myself being the happiest when I'm on the break of moving up in the world. Like we were just in a meeting 10 minutes ago about how 180's kind of like we're on a steady path now. And it's very controlled, and we're kind of reminiscing back on the 6 months ago, 8 months ago when we first started. Like we literally had the governor scheduled out to come cut the ribbon, and we had
wow.
podcast after podcast and press interview and all of this stuff. And now the dust is kind of settled, and now it's smoothed out. But like that journey of like all that chaos to kind of get to that next level is like when I find myself being the happiest, and that's what I love about 180 is there's so much room for other people to be successful in it, that
Yeah.
it creates that energy, over and over and over and over again. And that just never gets old to watch somebody come in, change their whole life, take the jump to be a business owner and go to that next level. And so it's nice to be surrounded by that energy consistently.
So
So
good. That's awesome. Well, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience, more about your company, where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love and support with all of the amazing things you guys have going on.
yeah, so I mean, we're primarily found at 180waterfranchise.com. We'll put a link in the bio, I'm sure, but
Yes, sir.
and we focus primarily on servicing water wells. We do a little bit of water treatment in terms of softening, conditioning, so things like that, but mostly primarily water well pumps. And we do some cool things. I mean, we have some 10-year warranty programs, and really just focus on updating that water well market and making sure that it runs current, and kind of building that tech into it, and having a good, clean company that, guys can be proud and lay their head down at the end of the day, knowing that all their things are taken care of, and really having that structure in their water well company is our primary focus, because it's not fun to run a disorganized company. I mean, it's much more fun when you have all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed, and that's all built in here. And it just makes a really nice, clean package.
There you go. Well, Jack, again, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thanks, Chip.
All right. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.